Welcome to StaarCast, a show about tarot, divination, and all things mystical. StaarCast is a celebration of StaarCon, the Southeastern Tarot Artist and Readers Conference. I'm Amy Mauser, and here's your host, Christiana Gaudet.
Thank you so much, Amy. Welcome everyone to StaarCast. It is the first StaarCast of January of the new year, and January is a very special month because it is the month in which StaarCon will happen. And joining me today is a presenter we are so happy and lucky to have, Rose Robinson. Thank you so much for joining me here on StaarCast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited for the convention that's coming up.
Yes.
Can't wait. Sorry, I'm just very excited about it.
And you are no stranger to conferences and conventions. Tell me, I know you've been very involved in the production of Newts. That's where I first met you, but a lot of other ones too. How many conferences have you been able to present at?
Oh, goodness. I've been very fortunate to be able to present at PaganCon. I've presented at Newts, as you said. I also presented at local science fiction convention called Pagan. It's Bay Area convention. So I get to do a little bit of everything all over the country. And then I've been in attendance at what is it called now? Reader Studio. Oh my goodness, how could I forget it? It's so wonderful. And you get so overwhelmed being there because of all of the lovely people you get to see there. And I've been able to be at that as well.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. So, and you are also a podcaster, isn't that right?
That is correct. I have been doing Tarot Visions podcast. I started out in 2013 with my then co-host, Charles Harrington. And then in about 2017, Jamie Alford joined us for a little while as a co-host, and then became one of our main co-hosts, and Charles took his leave. So we were very fortunate to just keep it going, and we still do it to this day. And we're going to be having you guys on pretty soon.
Looking forward to that. And of course, Jamie is also speaking at StaarCon, and in fact was a guest on this podcast just a few weeks ago.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, so great. So I love to ask my fellow tarotists about your origin story. How did tarot come into your life, and how did you become a professional reader?
Well, when I was 18, I discovered that this thing called the tarot. And it was through those, when you're a kid, you kind of gotta sneak around because you think, oh, the occult, it's kind of spooky and crazy, but it's really not. But it was harder to get back when I was younger. And I had a how to learn tarot with cassette tapes. And Mary K. Greer was my very first experience into really learning the tarot, which is kind of weird to think about it now because I do know Mary as a human being, not just this voice on a cassette. So that's kind of fun and exciting. And as I got older, when I turned 28, I met a bunch of people who were into tarot, and I picked up some books on learning it, and then started going to PaganCon, which happened in the Bay Area, and just kept rolling from there. And then one of my very good friends, Anastasia Hazler, said, hey, I'm starting up this group called Tarot to Go. Do you want to be a reader for me? And I'm like, wait, what? Sure. And then we just kind of would do parties, and we'd do individuals. And it was just kind of this, it flowed really well. I was very fortunate to stumble into it in a way. And it was just great. And I've joined a group, Daughters of Divination, and we just have had a blast. So kind of like that.
Daughters of Divination, weren't they the original organizers of BATS?
They, the original organizer of BATS is Thalassa Porter, and she's amazing. And she has her side group was Daughters of Divination. Yes.
I knew there was a connection there.
Yes, that is the connection. It is her esoteric party that we all get to join. So that's lots of fun.
Fabulous. And of course, for those who don't know, Newts is sort of the outgrowth of BATS. Is that right?
That is my understanding. Yes, I believe that Jay and Jadzia had attended Bats a few times, and Bats was a very much Bay Area event, but they lived in the Pac Northwest, so they wanted to create something up there for their local folk. And so, with permission from Thalassa, they opened up Bats or Newts, excuse me, in honor of Bats, if you will. And it was kind of this little convention that happens in March to complement the October presentations of Bats in San Francisco. And they just brought in all of their Pac Northwest folk to present and bring tarot to that area. And so it was really exciting to watch it grow.
Newts is one of the foremost conferences now, really.
It's one of, well, yes, they are. They are one of the ones that kind of bring more people tarot, I would say. And that's kind of exciting to be able to do that, because it's like the West Coast versions of other things that happen on our East Coast. So, it's kind of complementary to what you're going to be doing with StaarCon. We were kind of excited about that.
Well, it is an interesting thing, because there are so many great conferences.
Oh, yeah.
And my hope is that they will all survive the pandemic, because obviously in-person conferences and pandemic do not go together.
No.
But we conceived of StaarCon prior to the pandemic. And the idea was to, first of all, put something in the southeast corner, because there really hasn't been anything regularly here. And we have so many great tarotists in Florida. And who wouldn't want to come to Florida in January?
Well, it's warmer there than in the Northwest. That's very true.
Indeed. And so, again, for this month, we are all online on the Accelavance platform.
Right.
But we already have our dates for January 2022, where we will be hybrid. So consider, Florida, there's a swimming pool, man. There's a hot tub. Florida, January, it's just the perfect combination.
Well, and to be fair, Florida is going to be a close to everything. So it's a lot of fun. I know, having been born in Florida, which you did not know. Yes, I was born actually just outside of Panama City Beach, Florida. It's really nice to go and see how things are done differently than on the West Coast. So I love going to Florida. And so I look forward to next year for sure. I was kind of hoping this year, but next year will be just as exciting, and being able to see something and meet new people that you don't see every day. That's the beauty of conferences, is being able to go and reconnect with people you may know online and seeing them in person. But again, with the virtual ability, we don't have to worry about getting out of our homes or our time zones. And we can still talk to everybody. It's really kind of great.
Exactly. And the Accelavance platform really does allow for a lot of networking, a lot of connection. So it really is going to be the next best thing to being there. Right. So we are so excited for your presentation. And there's something really special about your presentation in that it's in the public track.
Yeah.
So I want to talk just a little bit about the public track so people know. We wanted to make some classes available for people who didn't have the budget for the full conference. And it's not that the full conference is terribly expensive. And you don't need a hotel room this year. You don't need an airplane ticket. So that makes it better. But there are some people, especially during a pandemic, who really don't have, the play money. So we have made 4 classes a day in the conference available to a general admission ticket of $5. So you pay $5, you're in for the opening ceremony, you're in for 4 classes each day, you're in for the closing ceremony, and of course you can go to the exhibition hall, the psychic fair, hang out in the lounges with people, you can do all of that. And so I was really excited to have you on, because I want people to understand that the presentations in the public track are top level, just like in tracks 1, 2, and 3. So with that buildup, tell us what you're doing.
I am talking about tarot spreads and small rituals to go around with the Pagan witches year, if you will. So it's the wheel of the year as we Wiccans know it, and how you can incorporate your tarot and small rituals as you do that go along with each holiday. So it's going to be basically 8 spreads, 8 small rituals, and they're not big ones. So they're ones individuals can do. That was the whole point, to go around with your year. So, at Imbolc, what do you do? And then, how do you incorporate tarot into that? And that's kind of the whole point of it, is that bringing those things together and showing you that tarot isn't just about predictability, which it can be. It's about, doing your intuitiveness for yourself while you're also doing tarot. So, and celebrating your year.
And I love that. I love celebrating the Wheel of the Year, first of all. And I love using tarot in that way. I tell my students that your tarot deck is a pack of 78 magical tools.
Exactly.
So I can't wait for your presentation and to see what you're going to teach us.
Well, I am looking forward to it because I want to share the things that have worked for me in my 20 plus years of doing all of this and how I do this on an individual level. Because again, not all of us can gather. So this is a way to do your ritual for yourself, but also read your cards with it and expand it out just a tiny bit more than all of the people. And here's some candles and just making it a little bit more individualistic for yourself.
Perfect. Now, someone who doesn't identify as Wiccan or maybe is new to all of this, will this be something they'll be interested in?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is again, another way to look at your tarot cards and how do you connect to the seasons of your year outside. I mean, the Wheel of the Year for pagans just connects with the seasons, and you don't have to necessarily be a Wiccan or a pagan to do these things. It's just a way to celebrate. Oh, look, it's spring. I think I will go and, pull some cards and, oh, look, it's in the shape of whatever that symbolism that I'm not going to tell you about until you come to the class. And then you get to do that. And you don't have to, for a very long time, I wouldn't tell people I was a pagan or a Wiccan. I would say I'm a tarotist. And that's because tarot was so important to me. And I love the cards. And I didn't associate it with any of the other stuff, even though some of those things I was doing. The tarot is itself its own thing. And you don't have to have that spiritual connection if you don't want to. That's the beauty of tarot. You don't need that if you don't want it, but it's there when you're ready or if you're interested. So I love that part.
Absolutely beautiful. So let me ask you, do you have a favorite tarot deck?
I have many favorite tarot decks. What people will find out when they start getting into tarot is that there's a tarot deck out there for every person and every personality. And it's so wonderful. But currently what I'm using is the Everyday Witch Tarot. Just because it came out, it's Deborah Blake, and I just love the art on it. So that's what I'm using right now. And it's my go-to. I even got the mini, so I will hold it up. It's the small version of the deck because that way I can carry it in my pocket. And it just makes it easier to carry around.
I love mini tarot decks. I really like smaller decks, even for workhorse use. That tarot deck that is used every day, that is your workhorse. I love the smaller decks. As you say, they're easier to carry and they're easier to shuffle.
Yes. I mean, not every deck has to be the Voyager deck. If you're not familiar with the Voyager deck, it is as big as your hand, generally speaking. So sometimes it's harder to shuffle. He did make a mini Voyager. So I love that. But I love the Everyday Witch because it's just very simple, basic symbolism, and it's in my hand.
Perfect. So Rose Robinson, if people wanted to reach out to you to have a reading, is that something you do?
It is actually something I do. I have a website, roseredtarot.com or roseredconsultations.com. Both addresses end up at the same site. Oh. I do in-person readings before COVID, but since then I do a lot of online readings. So you're welcome to go on to it. It's under services on my webpage. And I would happy to be reading.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So before we say goodbye, or even see you in a couple of weeks,
Only a couple of weeks away. It's so exciting.
I can't believe it. I like to close with a reading. If you came, and I know you got your cards there because you just showed me. And I have my brand new, literally brand new, just opened it today, Mystic Mondays tarot, which I'm really liking.
Okay.
So what I'd like us each to do, is we'll each think about StaarCon and pull one card.
Okay.
And that way we will do a 2-card reading together about StaarCon. And I'll let you say whether you want to go first or second. But let's think about StaarCon now and pull a card.
Shuffle up our cards. That's a great idea. What does the tarot have to tell us today about how wonderful StaarCon is going to be? All right. I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready. You want to go first?
I have pulled my card, and it is, and I'm going to hold it up to the thing. It's Justice.
Ooh, nice.
So to me, that says it's going to be fair and balanced. And there's going to be some really interesting and maybe controversial in the sense of pushing our boundaries to see how things work for us. And then learning new things that we weren't expecting.
I love that interpretation. And I would add to that, my concern is I want people to get their money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
Ticket prices range from $5 to $4.99. So there's a wide range there. And whatever a person pays for a ticket, I want them to walk away feeling like they got more than their money's worth. And I feel like with that card, we're going to deliver that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That is a good point. I think, again, like I said, it's going to be balanced. You're going to be learning all kinds of new things. And, that's why it's exciting.
So that's
what did you
cool.
Get?
Oh, I'll share in a minute. I want to say one more thing about your card. I'm all into your card. One of the things when we first started StaarCon, we came up, and you can find them on the StaarCon website, our mission. What's our mission statement? And one of our missions is to present a wide variety of topics, a wide scope. And so when you talk about that with the Justice card, we've got you doing the Wheel of the Year. We have got someone else doing tarot in the Bible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we have, and we've got runes, and we've got Kipper, and we've got Lenormand, we've got this wide range. And so I think that fits right in with Justice as well. Now, the card I got is really personal to me and to someone we both know who's also presenting, Jenna Matlin. You might guess I got the Queen of Wands.
Yeah.
Right? So Jenna and I are sisters in the Queen of Wands. And of course, for the longest time, her business was Queen of Wands Tarot. And the Queen of Wands is my personal significator. Right. And so whenever the Queen of Wands comes up, when I'm talking about something I'm doing, tarot-wise, it's very relieving to me. It makes me feel like, I'm definitely on my path. I'm doing what I need to do. Now, when we look at this in the wider sense, what is the Queen of Wands about? It's about nurturing your spirituality. It's about nurturing your creativity. And it's about having fun.
Exactly. And it's also about embracing all of the things that are coming at you that will feed your passion. And I think that's what StaarCon is going to do. It's going to feed people when they've been starving for that connection to the tarot with other people. They all get to come together and enjoy this beautiful thing that you've created. And I'm very excited about it. So I think that works really well. And everyone can be their own Queen of Wands. And I think that's the thing that people can take away from that, is that you don't have to limit yourself.
Beautiful. Rose Robinson, I want to thank you so much for being a presenter at StaarCon. We are all so excited for your presentation. And I want to thank you for being my guest here today on StaarCast. And just one more time, let people know your website in case they want to reach out to you for a reading.
roseredtarot.com or Rose Red Consultations. You can also find me that way on Instagram as well at Rose Red Consultations. So please reach out. I would love to chat with you.
Perfect. And if you have not gotten your StaarCon tickets yet, you can get them. Just go to the website. That's StaarCon.com. See all the wonderful things we have and get your tickets. Until next time, thank you everyone so much for being here.
Thanks for joining us for StaarCast. For more information about our annual conference, visit us online at StaarCon.com. That's StaarCon.com. We are looking forward to seeing you in January.